Good day and welcome back. So this is the final installment of the T34 tank itself. It's not the whole build. I still have the dio and the figures to do, but this will be the final pieces that need to be done with the tank. And essentially it is, again, the weathering and that. I'm not going to go real heavy weathering on this. I'm keeping it kind of clean. I'm not going to cake it with mud. I'm not going to coat it with gunk and grime and grease. But I am going to put a little bit of weathering on it, sort of just dirty it up a little, using the oils and pigments as I do. So instead of just sitting here talking to you about it, I'll go ahead and cut to it. And then, yeah, thank you very, very much for watching. So let's go ahead and crack in. All right, and once everything is put together, as is typical, we move on to getting, doing the oils. And really, I just use the oils to highlight the details. I tend to do a lot of the modulation in a different way, but really it's just a dot filter. Well, not even a dot filter, it's a pin wash. Find all the details, put a bit of color around it, mostly using this Starship Filth, and these oil brushes are actually kind of nice. But yeah, it's a very straightforward method. It's everybody does it. It's basically a pin wash, and I don't need to belabor the point. It's nothing special, but I also didn't go overboard. I tried to keep it refined, and I tried to keep it tight and focused on just the details for this one. So where I am with this now is the oil works down. Like I said, I'm really not going over the top on this, and I feel like where I am on it has roughly what I'm after. A little bit of discoloration here from wash down, little bit of oil spill, darkening here and around, but that's about it. I'm not going all out, and I really don't want this thing to look overwhelmed. Now, the other thing that's missing from here at the moment is the tracks, and let me see if I can find them. I had them. I think I might have dropped them into another box. I did. I don't see them right here. Yeah, they're around here somewhere. So, never mind. Anyway, the track pieces still you have yet to go here. But for the most part, I have this overall roughly where I want it. We've darkened these up. Once the tracks are on, the hint of this is going to be where I want it to be. I want to come back here and darken this up just a little bit more. Just kind of put some more shading down in there with the dark brown. But once that's in, that's about as far as I'm going to want to take that. Put the tracks on, and then hit it. The last thing I have yet to do then is hit it with the pigments, which is kind of where I'm going. Get it the light dusting that I want out of the pigments, and then the tank will be done. So we'll go. That basically will be the next step. I'll go ahead and finish a couple of those shading points in there, and then I'll pull out the pigments. All right, so just the last little bit here, getting a little more dark in under these corners. Then going back once those are just, and again, I'm really just going for a little bit of shading. Pull out the highlights, highlight, and I guess just highlight the bolts and so forth, and then clean some of that off. And really, I'm just getting it to get a little bit of a detail, right? Just pop it. Then we'll go ahead and we'll grab the pigments. Now, like I've said before in other models, I'm doing this not so much to have the pigment simulate collected dirt, but I'm also doing it as a type of color modulation to sort of, kind of like using it the same way we'll do oil filters, right? And I like the way the dust looks on the vehicle. Now, yes, I am going to have it be more present in the creases where dust, dirt, whatever would collect. But I'm actually using it as a modulation, right? And that's really where I'm going with it, right? I'm trying to give it a dusty, dirty look, and really without being filthy. So now once that's on, the trick was getting the tracks put on. Now, the way I'd put all this together, it was a little fiddly. I still don't know what the best way to do to get these tracks on, but this is how I ended up doing them. I had to fiddle with getting the wheels into the right location, but I did kind of like how I was able to work underneath it and then get the tracks put on. Now, you'll see that the bottom part of this isn't really finished yet, and I will get to that. I didn't really feel the need to video all of that, but once I got that oil work underneath where the tracks go, then it was just getting the tracks on, and then finally some unifying steps to color the tracks at the same way and similarly to the rest of the vehicle. Okay, and with that, the T34 is as done as I think I'm going to take it. At least mostly. There is one thing that yet needs to be done. So the tracks aren't like fully weathered down underneath here where you can see them. I am intentionally waiting till I have the base done so I can match those up. Because a lot of the details that will go onto the base are going to get into the tracks and so forth. I'm expecting grass, dirt, whatever. It's not going to be a lot, but it's going to be enough to get in there. But I want to match those up with the base before I actually just do them here. The little bed spring extra armor thing is based off a picture I saw. I could have made more, just filled it up more, but I chose not to. This was the picture I saw. Right, so I did that. I did not, didn't add the stowage up here. I wasn't really a fan of what they had, and I don't have a lot to really add on to that, so I'm kind of not going there. Again, the tank isn't filthy. It's not dirty. It's not going to be covered in mud, dirt, or whatever. I'm kind of keeping this a little bit fresh. So, as a model kit, okay, I expected more from, and I don't know why. Maybe it actually is unfair. I was expecting the kit to have more detail in it, or have more of a thing, but really the T34 is pretty straightforward and pretty simple. So I guess maybe that was wrong expectations on my part. But it was fun. It pretty much got it got there, and it will be a good centerpiece for the summer build. But yeah, I would recommend that kit, the Zvezda one anyway, for someone looking for a quick weekend build. Other than the tracks were a pain in the backside. But other than that, the rest of it actually really wasn't that bad. Yeah, so I really don't know what more to say. It was pretty straightforward, pretty simple, a simplistic build, but a little bit of detail here and there. I'm content with having redone the grab handles. I like the fact that they look a little more to me. But there we go. That is, excuse me, that is the tank finished. So this project will move on to doing the miniatures that go onto the base and then the scenic base itself, and then we'll put it all together. So with that, I will end this video for at least the building of the tank. And until next time, I will say thanks very much for watching and happy modeling.